If you are living in the United States today, or if you are somewhere across the world dreaming of a chance to build a future here, this moment may feel emotional. Many of you have spent years waiting, hoping, and carrying uncertainty on your shoulders. You've held on to faith through long application delays, family separations, and the fear that tomorrow might bring new rules you don't understand. Today, I want to speak to you with clarity, with calm, and with a sense of real possibility. Because something major has just happened in Washington, and it may shape your future in a way we have not seen for decades. A major immigration reform bill has finally passed through Congress after years of negotiations, disagreements, and setbacks. And while many people have grown used to hearing big promises that never become reality, this time the breakthrough actually happened. Lawmakers have approved a wide-reaching modernization act that touches almost every part of the U.S. immigration system. To understand its importance, imagine the entire system being taken apart, cleaned up, updated, and rebuilt to better match the world we live in today. That is what this reform is designed to do. It affects people who already live inside the United States, those waiting abroad, students, skilled workers, families, and especially individuals who have lived here for years without documentation but have built their lives quietly and responsibly. One of the largest and most emotional changes in the new law is the introduction of a 10-year legalization pathway for certain undocumented individuals. This pathway is not automatic. To qualify, a person must show long-term residence in the U.S., pass background and security checks, and provide proof of work and community contribution. Those who meet the requirements can apply for a conditional legal status, which can lead to permanent residency and, eventually, citizenship. For many families, this represents something they have prayed for through generations. This is not just paperwork. It is a chance to step out of the shadows after years of fear. It is a chance to build a stable future instead of living day to day, wondering if everything could be taken away. The reform also transforms employment-based immigration in a way that many professionals have been waiting for. For years, people from high-population countries, especially those in the tech, health, science, and engineering fields, have been stuck in decades-long green card backlogs simply because of where they were born. These per-country limits have now been removed. This change opens the door to a more predictable process, where your skills, your work history, and your contribution to the country matter more than your nationality. The new system blends merit-based criteria with credit for years of legal employment in the United States. That means skilled workers, medical professionals, researchers, and graduates of U.S. universities may finally have a clearer timeline for permanent residency instead of waiting endlessly in uncertainty. Family-based immigration also receives long-awaited improvements. Many families have suffered through painful waits that stretched far beyond what the law originally intended. The new legislation upgrades digital case systems, sets processing goals for government agencies, and aims to significantly reduce case delays by the year 2027. In addition, thousands of unused visas from past years, visa numbers that should have helped families long ago, are being restored. This offers renewed hope to parents, children, and spouses who have been stuck apart for far too long. Beyond visas, the reform invests heavily in border modernization. This includes updated technology, improved asylum processing centers, and systems designed to reduce long-term detention. One of the biggest shifts is the new goal for asylum decisions to be fully reviewed within 90 days. For many asylum seekers, the wait used to be measured not in months, but in years. This change is meant to create a process that is faster, more consistent, and more humane, protecting people who truly need refuge while creating order and clarity. Another major addition to the system is the introduction of a startup visa. This is for international entrepreneurs who want to launch innovative businesses in the United States. To qualify, individuals must show that their work can create jobs and contribute to economic growth. Supporters believe this will help the U.S. compete globally by attracting talented thinkers and builders from around the world. Students also see major improvements. For years, international students, especially those in STEM fields, have completed their degrees only to face uncertainty about whether they could stay, work, or transition into long-term status. The new law streamlines the pathway from student visas to work visas and eventually to permanent residency. This gives graduates a more stable future and gives employers the ability to retain highly trained workers. Workers on temporary professional visas also receive stronger protections. Clearer wage standards and anti-exploitation safeguards aim to ensure that skilled workers are valued fairly for their contributions. This helps create a more stable environment where both workers and employers understand their rights and responsibilities. The reform also includes important updates for permanent residents. Green card holders who have lived in the U.S. for more than 10 years will receive automatic short-term travel flexibility. This change helps those who have been afraid to leave the country, even briefly, for emergencies or family reasons. In addition, renewal processes, digital case tracking, and government communication are expected to improve, making the entire system smoother and more transparent. One of the most meaningful sections of the reform addresses humanitarian protections. Individuals covered by long-standing categories, such as childhood arrivals, certain protected groups, and refugees, receive new pathways and updated protections. For many who have lived most of their lives in the United States under temporary status, this could be a long-awaited chance at permanent residency and stability. It acknowledges that people who have grown up here, studied here, and built their lives here deserve clarity, not endless temporary extensions. This kind of reform did not arrive easily. It required a rare bipartisan agreement in Washington, pushed forward by immigrant communities, local leaders, businesses, and state officials. The final vote was close, but decisive, and now the next phase begins. Over the coming months, the Department of Homeland Security and USCIS will release the official rules for each new program, including who qualifies, what documents are needed, and when applications will open. Legal experts are encouraging people not to rush, but to prepare. This means gathering tax records, employment history, proof of residence, identity documents, and anything else that helps show your life and contributions in the United States. Economists believe the reform could boost the U.S. economy significantly by reducing backlogs and expanding legal work pathways. Many employers have said for years that outdated limits were restricting growth, especially in industries that rely on global talent. The updated system aims to support economic expansion while maintaining accountability and oversight. Of course, not everyone agrees with every part of the bill. Some critics worry about enforcement capacity, while others question the long-term impact of expanded pathways. But many analysts say the bill strikes an important balance: modernization paired with responsibility, and opportunity paired with clear guidelines. The reform is not a perfect or instant solution, but it is a major turning point. And for millions of people searching for stability, fairness, and a chance to plan for the future, it represents something they have waited for far too long. As we move forward, federal agencies will begin releasing step-by-step instructions on how these changes will be implemented, and we will be here with you, breaking down every update, explaining every requirement, and helping you understand each new opportunity available to you and your family. If you want to stay informed, if you want clear explanations about every part of this historic legislation, please make sure to subscribe for more U.S. immigration updates.